Thrills, chills, and spills, the greatest show on earth. See Lucky Lee Lott and his world-famous Hell Drivers, men who know no fear. Come and behold the man of steel, the human battering ram, the galloping goose. See the death-defying Roman steeplechase, the T-bone crash, the skid of death. See men and machines eat up punishment beyond the power of the imagination to prehend. See them come up smiling and unscathed. Right this way, ladies and gentlemen, right this way.
Men and machines. The men of great courage and skill. The machines, Nash Airflyte cars, chosen for performance, economy, durability, all-round ruggedness. Chosen by the greatest hell driver of them all, Lucky Lee Lott. Now, Lucky Lott is a man who knows what he wants and needs in an automobile. Over a period of many years, he has tried many different makes of cars in his show, trying to find one that would meet his standards. But, as Lucky Lott himself says,
we've tried many makes of cars, always looking for strength, dependability, safety, economy. But with one exception. We found that all American cars are made according to the traditional pattern handed down by the old-time wagon makers. Body and frame are entirely separate. The body, not very rigid by itself, is fastened to the frame by a number of bolts along each side. Under the jolting and twisting of even normal driving, these bolts tend to loosen, causing squeaks and rattles, higher maintenance costs, less stability, roadability, and safety, even shifting of the body. In fact, well, believe it or not, I've seen cases where a car body actually came apart from the chassis. Well, this was bad enough for normal driving. But for the wrenching and battering of our show, it was impossible. Maintenance and repair costs were out of this world. So we finally decided we'd have a car built to our own specifications. We took our plans to Nash engineers and found they were already building the kind of car we needed. We found that of all American cars, Nash alone shows modern engineering. The engineering of modern planes, no excess weight, but powerfully strong. The engineering of modern streamlined trains with all welded box section girder construction. Yes, in the automobile industry, Nash alone shows the whole trend of modern transportation engineering. The elimination of useless weights, yet with greater strength through airflight construction. Here is no heavy frame with separate body subject to twisting and turning. No body bolts to come loose. Here is clean, modern design. Rugged box section girder construction, welded into a single rock-solid unit. Here is the only car that can take the shock and twisting that we give it. Here is the car we were looking for.
in Nash Airflyte Construction, Lucky Lee Lott found the answer to his problem. Show business, you may say. Yes, but show business with a lesson for every car owner. For because of Nash modern engineering, everyone who owns a Nash Airflyte discovers a new world of safety, economy, performance, comfort, appearance, and durability. And this, too, Airflyte Construction stays new years longer and adds to the resale value of the car. The Nash owner chooses an ambassador, a statesman, or a rambler because he knows that only Nash brings him those qualities in such great measure. Because of Nash pioneering, design, and engineering. Because of the wonders that are wrought in the great Nash factories.
Men and machines, industrial might at work. The genius of man, the power of the machine. Melting, pounding, cutting, stamping, bending nature to man's needs. The deceptively gentle action of a giant press, lowering slowly its 950 tons, strong enough to flatten a house, taking flexible sheets of steel, giving back rigid body panels, roof panels, sweeping sheets of rigid steel, wheelhouse panels, strong, unbending, rear quarter panels, shaped and formed for strength. Then cutting, the precise cutting of a windshield opening. The neat trimming of a rear quarter panel. The punching out of a predetermined hole in a dash panel. Precision, precision and power.
The happy family that owns a Nash Airflyte reaps the benefit of all this. They know they have a wonderful car. A car that's safer, more rigid, more durable. A car that takes them wherever they want to go more economically than any other car.
Strong steel part joining with others, becoming even stronger sub-assemblies. The magic of electric welding with the simultaneous application of 95 white-hot electrodes, fusing separate stampings into a single rugged steel unit, a dash panel assembly.
This powerful structure will not show in the finished automobile. Its owner will see only graceful contours, gleaming enamel, sparkling hardware, and fine upholstery. But the rugged dash panel assembly will be there, protecting those who ride in this car.
Even so simple a piece as a doorpost. Two separate pieces of formed steel fitted precisely into a jig, welded into a single part. Each piece multiplying its own strength many times in union with the other, forming a rugged box section girder. Other formed steel pieces fitting each other perfectly. Then the swift, methodical stitching of the electric welders, joining each member securely to the others, the whole coming out as a sub-assembly. A complete side panel, already assuming the distinctive Nash line, a gleaming shadow of the car to come.
To someone somewhere, this will be more than a beautiful motor car, more than a source of pride and joy and comfort. To its new owners, this car will be the supreme result of the thought and care that went into its building.
The beginning of final assembly. A complete underbody moving in. Originally many separate pieces of formed steel. Now one unit, rigid, strong, with box section girders. A rugged dash panel assembly fitting smoothly in place, held with a precise fitting jig, stitched there with orderly rows of spot welds. Then the side panels, fitting perfectly the underbody and dash panel. And again, the giant welding torches fusing metal with metal. A rigid roof panel dropping down, fitting without force or trimming. Being held by a mammoth fixture. Being welded to the rest. A graceful fender, adding its sweeping lines to the body of this car. And finally, the complete body shell. 750 pounds of finest sheet steel, formed into panels under hundreds of tons of pressure, welded into rigid sub-assemblies, fused by over 8,000 unbreakable spot welds into a single rock-solid unit. The body shell of a Nash Airflyte.
People will be delighted at the spaciousness of this car, at its sheer comfort, at the convenience of an airliner reclining seat, and at the wonder of having a bed in the car. They'll enjoy the comfort of weather-eye-conditioned air and marvel at the great roominess of the trunk.
Moving into a billowing bath of live steam, removing all grease and dirt, then bonderizing. Joints and seams caulked and sealed, and panels coated with sound deadener. The first step in finishing, the primer coat. And going up to the baking ovens, painting the underside too. Another extra touch to be sure no spot of rust will develop on this car. Then, baking, an hour and a half under the penetrating heat of great banks of infrared lights. Repeating the process with the finest enamel. 2 glittering coats, baked diamond hard, electronically measured for correct thickness.
Its owners will say, this car is beautiful. And as the years go by, they'll notice that despite sun and wind and rain and snow and salt, no fading, no spot of rust mars the sleek surface of this car. They'll know that Nash bonderizing, sealing, and painting has paid off.
Nearing the end of the line now, upholstery completed. Hardware and trim supply the last luxurious touches. Meanwhile, another assembly line moving steadily toward the first, assembling the vital running gear of the car. A coil spring front suspension nestling into place. A torque tube and rear axle assembly taking its precisely appointed position. And fitting neatly between a powerful Nash jet fire engine and transmission. This one, a hydromatic. The 2 lines meeting one over the other, both still moving at a calculated pace. At the precisely timed moment, the completed body and frame, a single powerful all-welded structure, Airflyte Construction, ruggedly built for the years ahead, dropping gently onto the completed chassis.
Over broad, smooth highways and over the roughest backwoods trails, this car will travel. Its owner will notice that while its wheels soak up the bumps, the body rides smoothly. That there is no squeaking, no twisting with Airflyte construction. That after years of use, it still has no rattles.
Now, at the end of the production line, man and machine inspecting, testing, proving an automobile before it ever moves. Then, a new creation for the first time moving under its own power. Chassis rollers, enabling a skilled inspector to drive the new car for many miles without moving an inch. The engine, transmission, axle, the entire powertrain tested at various speeds for perfect performance and operation.
As it leaves the factory, the new Nash Airflyte, be it Ambassador, Statesman, or Rambler, is a unified thing of beauty. It is complete, a rugged structure of perfect design and perfect execution. It has the functional strength and beauty of true modern design. It has the roadability, performance, durability, and economy that lucky Lee Lott was looking for and found only in Nash. Above all, it has in Nash Airflyte Construction all those qualities that every motorist is looking for. Safety, economy, performance, comfort, appearance, durability. For this is the world's most modern car. The only car with one-piece, all-welded, girder-built body and frame. The only car with Nash Airflyte Construction.
Thank you.